All right, welcome back. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating. A question that mixes up art, psychology, and even biology. We're going to get into the powerful, almost primal attraction we have for creative people. I mean, think about it. What is it that makes an artist so irresistible, right? Why are we so drawn to a musician up on stage, or a poet who just has that perfect turn of phrase, or even a mentalist who seems to read our minds? I mean, these skills, they don't help us find food, they don't build us shelter, so from a purely practical point of view, why do we care so much? Okay, let's really get into this.
Well, it turns out the answer isn't really found in concert halls or art galleries. No, it goes way, way deeper. Deep into our evolutionary past. This magnetic pull of creativity, it's a story that's literally written in our DNA. It's kind of like a leftover from the super high-stakes game of choosing a mate.
And you know what? This idea isn't even new. We're talking about Charles Darwin, over a century ago. He's the one who first proposed it. He basically said, hey, music didn't evolve for survival, it evolved for seduction. It was a courtship tool, a way to charm and captivate a potential partner. Now, back then, that was a pretty radical thought, but wow, it really laid the groundwork for everything we're about to unpack.
So, Darwin's whole theory, it hinges on this one key concept: sexual selection. You've heard of survival of the fittest, right? Well, think of this as a parallel track. It's not about just surviving, it's about reproducing. This is the evolutionary engine that pushes for traits that might seem totally useless for day-to-day survival, but are incredibly effective at helping you find a mate.
Okay, so Darwin had this idea a long time ago. How does it actually hold up today? Well, modern evolutionary psychologists have taken his hypothesis and, really put it to the test. And they're giving us a much, much clearer picture of how creativity acts as this powerful signal in today's mating market. And the best way to think about this comes from evolutionary psychologist Geoffrey Miller. He gives us the perfect analogy, the peacock's tail. I mean, just picture it. It's huge, it's metabolically expensive to grow, and it basically makes the bird a giant, slow-moving target for predators. It has zero survival value, so I have it. Its only job is to be a fitness indicator, a really honest, hard-to-fake signal to the peahens that says, look at me. I am so healthy, my genes are so good, that I can afford to waste all these resources on this ridiculously magnificent, totally useless tail.
And that is the key. That right there. Music, art, these complex mental displays, they are our species' version of the peacock's tail. The ability to just improvise a melody or craft a super witty story isn't some random fluke. It's a reliable advertisement for all these really desirable qualities underneath. It's signaling, hey, my brain is healthy, it's efficient, it's creative, all the things you'd want in a partner, and for your potential kids.
Okay, so we've got the evolutionary why, right? But what's actually happening inside our brains that makes these displays so darn effective? Let's zoom in a bit and look at the specific psychological triggers that turn a creative performance into, well, raw attraction. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. There's this phenomenon called misattribution of arousal, or sometimes it's called excitation transfer. Okay, so picture this. You're at a concert. The music is intense, your heart's pounding, you just feel totally alive. Your brain feels all of this physiological arousal, but here's the thing. It makes a little mistake. It doesn't just give credit to the music, it gives credit to the person on the stage. So that excitement the music creates gets kind of transferred onto the performer, and bam, they seem instantly more attractive. And here's the crucial detail. This isn't just a passive thing. Research, like from Manuela Marin, shows that this attraction boost is way, way stronger when you know the person is the actual creator of the music. It's not just about being near the awesome stimulus, it's about being the source of it. That signals a much, much higher level of cognitive fitness.
So why is showing off your brain power such an honest signal? Well, simply put, because it's incredibly expensive. Our brain, even though it's just a small fraction of our body weight, devours about a fifth of our total energy. Think about that. So when someone engages in these biologically frivolous but really cognitively demanding activities, like making music, it's a super reliable sign that they have energy to spare. And that's a classic hallmark of good health and good genes. You can't fake that.
And believe it or not, the science gets even more precise than that. Some really amazing work by Benjamin Charlton uncovered something called the ovulatory shift. He found that when women are at their peak fertility, the point in their cycle when conception is most likely, their preference for guys who create complex music just spikes. But here's the real kicker. This preference was only for short-term partners. When they thought about long-term partners, the musical complexity didn't matter nearly as much. It's like this finely tuned biological strategy to go for the good genes when the reproductive stakes are at their absolute highest.
All right, let's bring all this back down to earth and connect it to real-world social dynamics. Because these deep-seated evolutionary drives, they don't just exist in a lab, right? They actually inform the strategies people use, whether they know it or not, when they're out there navigating relationships.
We can even borrow an analogy from the world of sales to make sense of this. So if the goal is a short-term encounter, the strategy is kind of like an urgency close or an alternative close. This is where those high arousal displays like a totally dazzling musical performance create immediate excitement and attraction. But if the goal is a long-term partnership, the strategy shifts. It becomes more of an empathy close or a soft close. This is way less about flash and much more about demonstrating social intelligence, building trust, and showing you'd be a good, solid partner. And yeah, music and mentalism can signal those things too, just in a very different way.
So let's just zoom out for a second and think about the big, beautiful consequence of all this. This primal biological drive to attract a mate, it may have had a far greater impact on our species than we ever imagined.
And this is the central kind of mind-bending takeaway from all of this. According to Jeffrey Miller's whole mating mind hypothesis, the very things we hold up as the peak of human culture, our art, our stories, our music, they might not have evolved for some lofty, abstract reason. They could just be the beautiful, intricate, and profound side effects of sexual selection. Our minds themselves, the very way we think and create, have been shaped by the courtship choices of our ancestors.
And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. If the incredible beauty of music can be seen as this elaborate, ancient mating call, what other human traits can we see through the same lens? What about a really sharp sense of humor? Or breathtaking visual art? Or what about profound acts of kindness and altruism? It's a powerful idea to think about, that deep within our most celebrated virtues, you can still hear the faint echo of a courtship song.